Hi, this is Jeffrey again, the illustrator for A Tale for Christmas, Zach's Quest. And since this is a story about Christmas and Christmas is about Christ, we're going to draw a nativity scene starting with the baby Jesus. Okay, we're going to draw a little nativity scene. And as I said, I'm going to start with the baby Jesus. So I'm going to start to do just like I did with the other characters. I'm going to sort of basically create sort of a scene here. And there's something to be said about if you can't see it in your head, you're not going to be able to draw it. So you do have to sort of look at it, the all sort of intimidating aspect of a blank sheet of paper as a window into your imagination. So you have to sort of visualize it. And a lot of times that's why I will start with a circle or an idea, because I'm actually forming an idea in the middle there. So I'm going to want the Jesus to be in there. So I'm going to actually sort of say, okay, let's sort of create sort of a scene here and say, try to, maybe this is sort of what the ground plane would be like, sort of like, wood or something like that. So because I want to have to be a little bit of down shot, because I'm going to place Mary over here, I'm going to place Joseph over here, sort of as you see in the typical sort of little sculptures that you see. But what I want to do is to sort of suggest, because nobody knows, so I'm going to suggest that that he's in this sort of wooden made sort of hay sort of trough type thing that's out of wood. And so I'm going to sort of, this is a little bit more have to do with sort of almost layout, but it works if you sort of look at your perspectives. And so I'm not going to get into that, but I'm going to try to sort of set it up so you can imagine. So I'm going to imagine that this was like a wooden that was tied together, and then just like this, tied into the centerpieces that was there, and there's the centerpiece. And then I'm going to imagine that there's hay here, since we know that they weren't rich, they didn't have a lot of money. So I'm going to sort of put it in there almost like as a hammock, as a sort of a, like that. I'll sort of draw the sticks or the twigs in there like this. I'll come over to this side here and then sort of put a few in there like that, going straight through. I'm going to make them sort of rough because I wanted to also make sure that they look like sort of twigs. These areas would be sort of tied in here like this. And I'm going to create the ends of them going up here like that, and the ends over here going across like this. Maybe I'll even have a couple of things sticking out just so that you remember that it is a branch. And again, I'm going to go back to, I'm going to have this nice soft sort of hay material that's going to be in the middle. Now this isn't a character, it's a set, but it still has to be, you still have to sort of think in these ways to be able to understand what it is you're trying to create. All right. And this little rope in area in here is going to help kind of explain to the viewer what's happening underneath here. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put I'm going to take a little bit of a cloth and sort of like wrap it in here like this, and let it be like sort of in here like this. And then I have a nice little area here where I can start to put the baby Jesus. And I'm going to do it as a very simple thing. It's not going to be realistic, but it's going to still have certain anatomical correctness to it. So there I have sort of the rough aspect of it. Now I'm going to go into there and start to pull out the actual drawing here. But since he's on top, I'm going to start to work with him first. Going to have a little bit more of the sort of the little baby fat. Little chubbiness there of a baby. And little arms. And then I'll imagine that he was wrapped around with sort of some cloth, like diaperish type thing that, believe it or not, in my generation, they actually still used to use. We didn't have Pampers in my day. We had cloth. Again, I want to keep it really kind of chubby, but happy. There. Okay, now I'm going to take the cloth material. I'm going to pull that across there. I want this to go down so that it's sort of, you can feel that it was like he's sitting in it. I'm going to go up here like this. Over there like that. I want to get some of these ropes in here too, though. As well. I'm going to do the ends of a couple of these branches sticking out here, because what I want to do is have the straw sticking out on top of it, as if it was sort of, and actually it wasn't that long ago that people still used to use hay and things in mattresses, by the way. I'm going to put that in there. Of course, this is just an interpretation of what might have been. Let me just do some of these ends of these sticks that are tied in here like this. Sometimes it's fun creating these little things. I think I'll put some. So this is a makeshift. Would have been just a hay trough for the animals. I'll put this up there like that. Again over here. And the other one down here, because it's resting across here like that. I'll do another one here. Because this hay is just sort of sticking out of here. A few strands sticking over here, just so it looks interesting. There. And again, let me just make this smoother. I think I'm going to use this instead, because it's so tiny. Sometimes bringing in a big pencil doesn't help you when you have to get in there like this on a little drawing. Again, I want to make sure that the silhouette works here like this. Adding little details like that. Probably want to come in a little bit there. There we go. There we go. There's little hands. And just do one little thing here. I would like to have a little bit of a crease there, sort of make it more cozy, like he's sitting there. And there we have it. I hope you enjoyed learning to draw this character, and please be sure to check out the other lessons in this series. Merry Christmas!